I never acted before. I did at school plays, a couple of them, but this came out of nowhere. It was a dream come true. Ever since I was little, I would dream of, like a lot of kids, take the nunchucks. And I'm like 12 years old, hit myself with a head with a nunchuck. And, it's looking at Bruce Lee and every kung fu movie that came through the pipe. And I used to, after school, I was like 13, I would run home, go watch Batman, Spider-Man, just like the kids today. And however, in New York City at a time when New York City was very violent and they had a lot of crime going on, and there was a street called 42nd Street, which now is like Disneyland, but back then it was like decrepit homeless and drug pushers and prostitutes and porn movies and martial art movies. So, and parents were more liberal, and my father and mother used to let me go run the streets a little bit, and I would be hanging out in that theater watching these kung fu movies, like 3 kung fu movies at $3, And when this film came about, I didn't actually get accepted because I was so excited. I thought I was going to go in there, do all my karate moves, because I never acted before. But in the 19-year-old's brain, it's like, okay, they want a guy to come out and go ha 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 and do all these jumping kicks. But they didn't ask me to do any of that. They wanted me to take this and go outside and read this, and these are called sides. And I was like, sides? What's that? Oh, it's part of the script. What's your name? And then I walked outside, and I didn't understand what the hell they were talking. This character was about. I do not wish. I was like, I don't wish. What's the matter with this? I didn't get it. And when I went back in, I did horrible. And the guy said, he stopped me in the middle because I didn't know what I was doing. And he goes, look, you look the part, but you gotta work on the scene. And I was depressed for a couple of days, and then, long story short.
I mean, so you only got the sides, you didn't have an entire script at that point?
No, I ended up getting an audition because one of my martial arts instructors at the time and my mother's friend was involved with film as far as on the artistic side, dance choreographer and fight choreographer. So they ended up giving me an opportunity to go into the casting office and audition. And they gave me, just like all actors get, they only get a piece of the script unless they are more represented or they have a name, then they get the whole script so they can really prepare. So that's what happened. But I ended up working on it and getting the confidence because my friend, I got really depressed I wasn't going to do it. My friend said, look, if there's a God on earth, this role was written for you. So I got more confidence and I went back in there. They told me they already hired somebody, but they never signed him. So when I went in the office, I said, just need another chance to read again. They were really happy with my reading, and then they sent me to the production office, and they fired the other guy, and they gave me the role.
Probably didn't have nearly the coolest name as you do. Like, how is it just meeting people and being like, hi? People are like, hi, I'm Steve, and you're like, hi, I'm Timac. Like, I mean, that's going to get you a role 100% of the time.
No, I hated the name when I was a kid because you get fights all the time because,
My name's Gregory. You get picked on for that.
Okay, Gregory.
See? But you're going to beat the shit out of me now.
Timax takes a lick and keeps on ticking, okay? It's like, Timac, Tam, what?
Well, so you get the role. You're in the movie. Like, how aware are you of the camp level that's going into it, and how informed is your performance of the campiness that's inherent in the script?
This is the 80s, man. You walk out the street, it's camp. Yeah, the guys walking with the hair out here and then being Prince and Michael Jackson.
There's that thin line where you watch like super shitty camp from the 80s, and then you watch super sincere camp, and I think the stuff that kind of lives on for 30 years is that stuff that skirted that line going like, we're camp, but we kind of know it, and they wink at you throughout. And like, how aware were you guys of that? Or were you guys just going for the fences and you're like, wow, shit, we did it?
No, the writer was obviously brilliant, he did all these incredible lines. But Berry Gordy was the genius behind it. Michael Schultz was like the assist, they just knew. They were in charge of all that. I was like, thrown in a role as the lead in the film, and they were just trying to make sure that I knew how to, navigate through the whole thing,
How much did you?
I I wasn't intellectualizing any of it. I was like, okay, let me make sure I get my lines, and I got the I do not wish to do,
But do you feel that kind of naivety, or like that kind of like, your first role, you don't necessarily know the level of camp? Like, do you feel like that informed your performance to where now you go back and watch, you're like, fuck, nailed it?
Well, Well, you know, the first day going to it was the family breakfast scene, and they were lighting another room, and the stand-in person usually have a stand-in that's your complexion, and they focus the camera on you, on the stand-in, and they ask you to come in when they're ready to shoot. So I don't know where he was, but they asked me to come. It was my first day of shooting, and I'm like, okay, I see cameras and the other actors. I never did anything before, and then they said come in, and they had my Bruce Lee outfit, and I wouldn't stand in front of the camera. And I just felt something about it, you know, that was very natural, you know, and I felt very at home. It's almost like I guess, you know, like a baseball player or something. You give him a bat when he's first, and he really feels. That's how I felt. And being a movie fan, martial arts movie fan especially, I just knew that people would love it, you know. And when I was with the Chinese guys and with Danny, Denise Matthews, who were showing up, you know, I was cracking up all the time. And they had there were scenes they cut because I was getting ready to crack up, especially with my little brother, may he rest in peace. You know, I was laughing all the time. You know, it was so fun.
Well, that brings me to my next question, and I hope that you can answer this and tell me if I'm going too far. But what it looked like